Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the DC Direct Batman Arkham City Catwoman. Catwoman comes to the Arkham City toy line as part of the second series from DC Direct. She comes in the standard DC Direct clamshell style packaging, featuring a blister bubble that is shaped like Batman's head. The background behind the figure features some really cool artwork of Arkham City straight out of the video game. And the back of the box shows off the other figures available in Wave 2 from DC Direct. Now, as stated in previous reviews I've done of these figures, DC Direct often focuses more on the collectability of their action figures rather than the playability. So oftentimes these are a lot more detailed than some of the figures we see from companies such as Mattel. Catwoman here does have a lot of detail on her costume. It's one thing that really stands out on this one. All of the small little sculpted details such as the texture of her outfit, the painted lines, the shading, everything looks really great on the outfit that she's wearing. Now, the head sculpt on the figure is decent. It does seem a little off to me, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It does look like they attempted to get the look of the character from the video game, but it's definitely not perfect. It's not a bad sculpt by any means, so I don't really want to say it's bad. But one thing that I've really kind of noticed about it is she almost seems like she doesn't have a neck. I kind of think it might be attributed to the high collar coming off of her costume. Maybe that's making it just look like she's got a stubby neck. I don't know. But looking at her head on, it does look like she's completely missing her neck, which is kind of funny. Now, the articulation on the figure is actually pretty decent. It's not a superposable figure by any means, but here's what we've got. Her head is able to turn both left and right and slightly up and down. It's not hindered at all by the high collar there. She has ball hinge-like joints at the shoulders, allowing for her arms to be raised halfway up and can rotate all the way around. Single joints in the elbows and a swivel at the wrist. She does not have any torso articulation or waist articulation. She has the standard DC Direct T-cut crotch area, allowing for the legs to move only forward and backward. Single joints at the knees and a swivel at the boot cut. Now, unfortunately, this figure is another one that is completely lacking a figure stand, and I really don't understand why DC Direct took this route. On top of that, she doesn't even have peg holes in the bottom of her feet. Now, this does kind of pose a problem because of the way her boots are sculpted. She doesn't exactly stand very well. You really kind of have to swivel the boots the right way to find a good position to get her to stand in. This figure really would have benefited from being able to be placed on a figure stand. Now, you'll see attached to her right thigh is Catwoman's signature whip. This is non-removable. It is permanently attached to her thigh, but it is a separate piece, and it's actually made of a rubbery material. It looks really cool how it's all coiled up there at her side, but honestly, I think this would have worked better if it was an actual accessory for her to hold. Instead, she comes with this little Bolo Weapon as her accessory. Now, this is also really neat looking. The three Bolo parts are glued together so they don't separate, but the whole thing is made of a really gummy plastic, including the handle. Now, her hand is actually so tight that it's kind of hard to squeeze the handle in there since it's so gummy. You really do have to kind of work at it to get it positioned in her hand. But once you get it in there, it is kind of neat looking, but I just can't help but think she would have looked a lot cooler if she was holding her whip instead of this accessory. So there you go, guys. There is a look at the Series 2 Catwoman figure. Overall, I'd say she's a pretty nice looking figure. That could have been a little bit better. I still think the neck looks a little off, but I am still happy with it, and she's got a really nice look to her actual costume. I love the details in the paint job there. And plus, putting her with all of the other Arkham City or Arkham Asylum figures you already have, we are really building up a awesome looking Rouges Gallery for our Batman shelves. Now, Series 2 Catwoman is available right now, but if you don't want to do any hunting, why not head over to www.bigbadtoystore.com to check out their selection of Arkham City figures from DC Direct and all of the other cool action figures they have to offer. Until next time.